All right, I would like to welcome the newest member of the shop here, Logan. I recently got this. Long story short, which by the way, this kind of explains why, hopefully, at least one of you have noticed I haven't put a video out in a really long time. But long story short, a couple of weeks ago, I was visiting the workshop of a friend of mine, and I noticed he had this lathe and something else I'll show you here in a second, kind of off to the side of his shop. And I halfway jokingly just said, "How much?" And he gave me a number. And it was a really low number. And I couldn't afford to not buy it. Um, so now when I got it, it didn't quite look like this. The paint was all chipped and flaked. The reversing switch right there was mounted there. Um, and I had to get a new motor for it. There's the new motor. I got the motor from Granger. The motor that was on it, the shaft was all worn out and floppy. And so I took this thing apart, cleaned it up, and painted it. Some of the paint got a little bit messed up, like right there. I was trying to clean up and polish the logo, which I think of what I might do. I'm going to fill that in with red here and here, fill that in a black, and then re-sand it down to kind of brighten up the brass there, and then just reshoot the gray around it. That might just be dirty from when I was cleaning that up, but I need to fix that. There is a knob that goes there. I just forgot to put it on. Now, while I was cleaning up, and I have to clean this up as well. Some of the paint bled under the tape, so I got to clean that up. So this will look nicer later. And I kind of realized, once I got into it more, I think the previous owner, or one of the previous owners, attached that quick change gearbox onto that bed. I don't think that's original for that bed. You'll notice there's only one bolt holding it in, because I think, well, and I did have this off, and there is no threaded hole for that bolt or that bolt. So I think after he got one bolt drilled and tapped, he said, "Screw it, that's good enough," which it does hold on there. I mean, it does work. But when I was cleaning it apart, when I was taking it apart to clean it and paint it, I noticed a broken gear, part of this handle. I don't know if it'll pick up, but there's a gear right up in there that had a broken tooth. And actually, here it is, right there. There's the broken tooth. And so I went online. I found a website that I'm assuming is an actual Logan affiliated website, and they wanted $160 for that gear. So I went on eBay, and there was one for $60. Now there was another one for $55, but the guy gave the dimensions on that one for $55, and the dimensions did not match the dimensions of my gear. So I reached out and contacted him to ask him some questions. He never responded back. I reached out and asked some questions to the guy who had the $60 one, and he said that earlier serial numbers had one part number gear, later serial numbers had another part for that gear. He gave me the dimensions for his matched mine. So the other guy who was listing one for $55 had the wrong part number. And so something important, if you are trying to find replacement parts for your lathe or whatever, take measurements of yours and make sure that what you're ordering is right, because you can't just trust that the seller will have the correct part number listed. And then so once I got the new one, and I put the new one in, and I just started rolling through all the different gear combinations, in this spot right there, when I put it to that spot, which is your slowest speed, which is the one that you use like most of the time, it would lock up and jam up solid. There's another gear that broken one meshes with, that's up inside of here, that was also messed up. It looks like somebody repaired it, and they did not that great of a job repairing it. And so I found that gear on that Logan site. They wanted $275 for. So I was able to get I found a gear on McMaster Car. This particular gear, the second gear, the one they wanted $275 for, which, by the way, there were none on eBay, like 0 of them on eBay. That was like a 2 stacked, I don't know the right terminology, but it had a bigger gear and a smaller gear that were like pressed together into one unit. Well, whoever tried to repair that previously, they just took 2 gears and tried to like pin them together, and those pins worked loose and got between the teeth, and that's, I'm assuming that's what broke the other one. So I was able to find the smaller gear on McMaster car that had the appropriate shoulder, and I had to turn it down. So the first chips on this, you can see I did not clean it up yet. I'm debating whether I want to like save those and make a little memento. I'm joking. But those are the first chips on my new lathe, and that was to machine the gears in there to repair those. So I bought a lathe so that I could repair itself. So yeah. So anyways, I don't know if I want to tell you how much I paid for this. It was ridiculously low. I don't want anybody to get mad at me for knowing how little I paid for it. But with the lathe and all the new paint and the new motor, the little new motor right under, you can barely see it right in there, and the parts for the gear and cleaning supplies and Scotch-Brite, and I bought some oil cans. This one is empty right there. So I bought a couple of oil cans. And I tell you, because of this, I've been watching a lot of this other guy on YouTube. He goes by Tubal Cane, something like that. He does a lot of work. He's a retired high school metal shop teacher. He does a lot of work with these Logan lathes and the Craftsman and Atlas lathes. So I've been learning a lot from him. In fact, one of his videos where I learned how to figure out the tooth pitch and pressure angle and all that good kind of stuff to order a new gear off a McMaster car. He also has a video about lubrication, so because of him, I ordered the correct oils and lubricants and some oil cans because I really want to take care of this thing as much as I can. I mean, it's definitely old and used. It still needs a little bit of cleaning up. It still needs a little bit of work. It also came with that tool cabinet right down there, which is full of, well, not full, but it's got quite a few tools in there, a couple of chucks and a couple of rests and a few cutting tools and cutters and tool holders and stuff. So, that came with it, plus the little manual there. Now, what was there, if you ignore the mess on my workbench as I pan over, don't pay attention to any of that mess over there, this is what was sitting over there. This is a Craftsman 6-inch lathe. This will be going on eBay pretty soon, hopefully this weekend. This one does work as is. I've been using it quite a bit for the past several years. When I got it, it was a rusted pile of junk, and I stripped it down and rebuilt it and painted it John Deere green. But even though it does work as is, it does have a few issues. It does need work. It does not have the gears required to cut threads. It does have enough gears in there so you can run the power feed, so that does work, but can't cut threads with it. Also, it has been modified. There's no back gear. There's no back gear in there. Yeah, I just touched that. There's no back gear, and the bull gear here is removed. So this pulley is actually set screwed to the shaft, which is not the way it's supposed to be, but it's what I had to do to get it to work. So it does work as is, but it does need quite a bit of work. And this pulley here, there's a little bit of play right in here. So that bushing needs to be replaced. But see, I'll put that on eBay. Haven't decided exactly what I will ask for it yet. But so that one needs to go away because right now that's taking up my welding bench, and I need to get rid of that. Need to get it out of here. It will be local pickup only, so if you're in the Delaware area, you can buy it on eBay and come pick it up. But one of the reasons why, again, I have not put out a video in a while, well, for one, because it's like really, really cold in the garage, and I don't like working when it's cold. But in order to make room to take the old lathe out and drag this thing in and take it apart and rebuild it and fix it and paint it and all that kind of stuff, I had to take all of my stuff, projects and toolbox, and I just had to shove everything off to the side. That's why all of this stuff is just stacked up in front of my workbench there. I got projects on top of projects, so everything just had to get shoved to the side until I got this thing done. Now that this thing is done enough, I don't think it'll ever be done, but now that it's done enough and I can actually use it, now I can put my shop back to normal, get everything back, and hopefully life in the shop will get back to normal here within another day or two, and I can get some of these projects done. A couple of you are waiting for me to get your projects done for you, so I apologize for the delay, but hopefully, like I said, it'll be back to normal here soon. Now let's take a look at the other thing that I got with this, and another new addition to the shop, something I've been wanting for a really long time. Pay no attention to the mess I'm still cleaning. That guy right there. I know the lighting is a lot worse over here, but that is a power filer. It needs work, it needs repair. I'm not going to do that anytime soon. It does work as is, it's just dirty and needs a new paint job. Right now I got that tucked in between my drill press and my bandsaw. There's my Tesla coil that's patiently waiting for me to finish it. And I know maybe one of you is waiting for me to get back on that as well. But yeah, in that door right there, there's a box full of files. I don't know, probably 30 or 40 files. And there's also the support arm that attaches to that will hold the top of the file. This is called a butterfly filing and sawing machine. You could actually put saw blades in it, hacksaw blades in it, and you can saw with it. But right now it's just hanging out there and just waiting for me to clean it up and get it back to working again. But I just wanted to put a quick video out just kind of explaining what's been going on, what I've been doing, and hopefully get back to normal here in a little bit. So I don't know if any of you are actually interested in all of this, but if you weren't, why have you been watching for the past 12 minutes? That's kind of weird. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you know, your comments and your watching and whatever else you're doing. But I'm going to stop talking now, and as always, until next time, thanks for watching.